Welcome to Beyond the Pour by California Tastings. We're rooted in California, where sunsets kiss the ocean and the vines. But our conversations span the globe. Every episode we sit down with chefs, winemakers, somms and mixologists listening to their stories. These are the stories you won't want to miss because these are the untold stories. And hey, if you need us to pour wine or curate craft cocktails at your next event, we've got you covered.
Hello, I'm Nilu, your sommelier host, and we are back at Beyond the Pour by California Tastings. And today my guest is from Napa. It is Ben Koenig. Am I saying it correctly? Koenig the fourth.
Yeah,
How do you say it?
Ben Koenig IV.
All the fourth? See, I got that right. And it was Roman numerals. I'm like, I've got to figure out what that is. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Ben, as we're talking, I know you're running to an event, so thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I started Beyond the Pour because I wanted to find people that we could learn from, see what they do in their businesses, basically to do with hospitality. And you are doing some good things in Napa. I will let you explain, but basically, you've got a new restaurant coming up, going to be there soon in Napa. You're closing one, you're opening another one. I believe it's the same location. And I think what we want to know, first of all, we got a few questions for you, but what it takes these days to run a restaurant in Napa, open one. Is it stressful? Is it okay? Is it easy?
It's a lot on.
Just a piece of cake, right?
Oh, a piece of cake. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do business in this state. It's just we can't keep it up. It's all too easy.
Yeah. Well, Ben, Ali is your wife. You and Ali have been running Heritage Eats in Napa. And tell us what's happening with that now. And what kind of restaurant was it? And what's it going to be?
Yes. Yeah, our first. So first of all, thanks for having me. This is always fun. Sorry that I'm crouched in the middle of a golf course here on the way to an event, but I appreciate it. So yeah, our journey started as restaurant owners, restaurateurs 10 years ago when we opened up Heritage Eats in Napa. It's in the Bel Air Plaza, which is North Napa. We always wanted to be community-minded operators, family-friendly, family-driven operators. Heritage Eats had a great lifespan. It's been I think an impactful restaurant in Napa for the last 10 years. We've built a really strong, loyal local following. It was more of a fast casual, or we called kind of a fast fine service model. And not everything is meant to last forever. And as our family has evolved, we now have two beautiful kids, a 5-year-old Parker and then a 3-year-old Benny the fifth now. And so our lives have evolved. We have 2 events businesses in Napa. We have another restaurant called Mothers in Napa, and then we have another version of Mothers down in Southern California. So our lives have grown, our ambitions have grown, but our love for the Valley, our love for the community has always stayed. And ultimately, restaurants are very personal. They take, unlike what I just said at the start, they are very stressful.
We know you're being sarcastic, I think.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. They're very yeah. Time intensive, labor intensive, love intensive, not just from owners, but from the rest of the staff and so on. And like I said, not everything is meant to last forever. I just felt like Heritage Eats had a great 10 years. We learned a lot. It gave us a lot. It gave the community a lot. But ultimately, that spark that's required to make it special and push through the hard times for that particular brand just wasn't there. And so
you don't have any. You're outside right now, but you don't have any frogs around you, do you? I'm getting a kind of frog sounds.
It's not.
If anybody else listening, this is unusual for Beyond the Pour. We never can get it right. So just everybody hang in there.
No, they're not frogs. There are golfers, and I think what you're hearing is they're tee shots.
Golf balls or something. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying this is just the way it goes with my podcast. So you've had Heritage Eats for about 10 years. You came from New York, I believe, your wife and yourself. New Jersey. Nice, nice. What made you move over to Napa? That was my first question.
Yeah, well, my background is in finance. I went to university in New York City and then worked in finance, and realized pretty quickly that for me, I wanted more fulfillment out of life. And so with that, I started working with a Michelin-rated restaurant group in New York City for a period of time. And then just as life would have it, they were opening up a restaurant in Napa. I've always loved California, but and at the time, my wife and I were not even dating, and I had no kids and all of that. So it felt like the right opportunity for me to come out and start new. And then just fell in love with the area. I fell in love with the community.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the area. It was certainly a culture shock coming from New York, living in New York City for 6 years, right, and then moving out here by myself as a young guy. And so that all said, like we've planted roots down in the community, and we have kids now here, and so it's given a lot to us, the community, and we're excited to continue to give a lot to it.
Yeah. And so, okay, so Heritage Eats was kind of a comfort food, or is you got another week to go, you're closing Heritage Eats out and in the same place with the same crew, I believe, you're opening George and Kin.
George and Kins, yeah, it's sort of,
Got that.
yeah, so it's named after my great aunt and my great uncle, my auntie Kenny and my uncle George. They were Japanese American farmers from Pocatello, Idaho. My background heritage. My mother is full Japanese. My father is German, so we're half Japanese, half German. And on my mother.
Nation is beautiful. Really.
Thank you. And my auntie Kenny and my uncle George. My mother lost her parents when she was very young, and they more or less, took my mother in and raised her on the farm in Idaho. And so for my sisters and I, my auntie Kenny and my uncle George, really like the closest thing to grandparents that we had.
Oh my gosh.
And some of our fondest memories as kids growing up was always visiting them on their farm, and they were just they were old school. They were just cut from a different cloth than what we have really today in our society. I mean, they were steadfast, they were hardworking, they were generous, they were incredibly resilient and resourceful. They raised pigs, they raised cows, they grew potatoes, they grew carrots, they grew all sorts of fruits and vegetables. And so when it came time to rethink what we wanted to do, this idea of paying homage to my auntie Kenny and my uncle George has always been something in the back of my mind. And it's kind of manifested itself in sort of this East Coast diner meets heartland food concept called George and Kins. And it's simple food. One of our taglines is nothing fancy. Right? We have pancakes and French toast and burgers and chicken parm plates, but everything's pushed through a slightly Japanese lens. So we make our own bread for sandwiches, but it's a Japanese milk bread infused with a little bit of sourdough starter. We are we're doing pancakes, but it's a yeasty kind of fluffy pancake versus your just traditional Americana buttermilk pancake. But it's meant to be comfortable food, daily food. Diners are democratic in nature. It's one of the things that I've always loved about them, and we wanted to make sure that we opened a restaurant that was committed to quality through the operation, but also was going to be affordable for the local families to be, a weekly spot, a casual spot, because as we all know, Napa Valley has plenty of the other end of the spectrum.
Yes, exactly. So that was the thought that I was like, I wonder what made him think of doing something like that. Diner always makes me think of like relax, go sit there just after a long day and chill and eat some comfort food. But you're adding so kind of cool that you're doing it for Napa, in my opinion. I'm in
Yeah, thank
Sonoma
you.
County. I feel Napa needs to balance itself out a little bit, honestly.
Sure.
So I love that idea. But um, was the first restaurant Heritage Eats kind of comfort food,
Yeah.
but not Japanese and not
Correct. Yeah.
Japanese
It was
orientation?
more globally inspired. So
Yeah.
Heritage Eats was an idea born out of a 6 or 8 month travel expedition that I went on myself when I was younger. And
Mhm.
so it was more kind of multicultural, globally inspired food,
Yeah.
but it was $12 bowls and $9 wraps and things like that. So we've always wanted to be, we've always played, fill the role or fill the need within the local community of a place that truly is for locals, that's priced for locals, that is meant to be a spot that you can feel comfortable bringing your 6-year-old kid into, and you don't have to get dressed up to go. And we always wanted to be kind of a restaurant more of convenience than
Yes.
anything else. And so
Yeah.
we're taking the same approach with George and Kins, and we're pricing the menu so that it can be affordable for a family of 5, while at the same time, I think we're hopefully doing something unique enough that can be sought after and worth the drive from the Sonoma Valley over to Napa.
Oh, we're gonna be there whether you like it or
Thank
not.
you. We'll like it. We'll like it for sure.
And now we got to get the word out because I keep seeing you on Instagram and I love that you're working very, very hard. I'm very impressed. And I feel like you're giving back to the community a lot, which is going to take me into the question in a second about the Napa Valley College and what you're doing there.
Yeah.
But you had said, I read somewhere, you're replanting the vines from that previous restaurant to this one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you explain what that thought is really for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it should be, hopefully an analogy that resonates with your audience and with, those of us who live and are engaged in some form or fashion with the wine and hospitality culture. You drive up and down the valley and sometimes you see fields where there were once vines and there's just now a big pile of sticks. And someone that owned that property made the decision and said, "Hey, the vines that were there were no longer fruiting to the point that that they needed or that it made sense to keep." Right, and
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
they made the very difficult decision to forego a few harvests and pull the vines out and replant. But the idea is that with the end of something, there could be the start of something new, right? And it's sort of just the mindset that I've taken with Heritage, where I haven't wanted to dwell on perhaps the disappointment of it not lasting forever, and more so focus on the fact that it gave a lot to it gave a lot to many for 10 years, and I hope this is more of a redemption story than a sad one, right? It's something is ending, but in its place, hopefully a fresh idea can be planted that can benefit many people for the next 10 years.
I think that you can't look at it as, something sad. You're still in the same location.
Yep.
It's still the same people,
Yep.
and you're paying homage to your very much loved grandparents. Really, they're like, are they still alive?
No, they've passed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So we've had a lot of fun re-engaging with their immediate kid, their kids,
Yeah.
our cousins, and they're thrilled, obviously, that their parents and grandparents will be honored in this way, and
Love it.
so it's been a fun story.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be so great, and perseverance and continuing to do what you love. And your kids are watching, so I mean, they're watching you create this family. Uh,
I just wish I could see
yeah,
it more.
I know that is a problem. I get it. So, so you're hoping that the menu is going to have some home, some comfort food, but some Asian. Are you going to have things like sake? Are you going to have beer? Are you going to have wine? What's the deal with
Yeah, we're gonna have beer. We have beer and wine. We've always had beer and wine.
Yeah.
We don't plan on having sake. We're not. We don't want to be thought of as a Japanese restaurant. We want to be thought of as
Don't at
no,
all?
really. I mean, really, we're we're much more kind of Americana comfort with a Japanese influence. We don't have rice on the menu, right? So we don't have sushi on the menu, right? So we want to be careful, or we've just been mindful of Japanese to our Americana society. It tends to mean a very specific thing. And what we've tried to do through Georgian Kins is, really offer, this is food that I grew up eating. This is a food that my Auntie Kenny and my Uncle George cooked. And it was, adding miso into things. It was, them
Yeah.
being from Idaho, they ate a lot of tin and fish, right? Because they couldn't get a lot of fresh fish. So we're doing a salmon melt with tin fish salmon, right?
Oh my God.
So it was, yeah, it's much more, Americana in feel, and more heartland in feel.
Love
But
it.
it's pushed through the lens of someone who's a Japanese American, right?
Yeah, I mean, so much fun stuff can come into that.
Yeah.
I was actually, our family was in Japan last year, this exact time, and might be one of my favorite places on earth. I don't know. I mean, when you say your Uncle George and your sort of grandparents, I guess,
Yeah.
they that respect that exists in that culture, we a lot of us want to see that, and unfortunately we don't. And so if we can bring that back in any shape or form, I think personally, I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Tell me about this cool thing you're doing with Napa Valley College,
Yeah.
gift cards and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, um, uh, we've always had a great relationship with the college. I've been a speaker for the career education entrepreneurship class once a year, almost running on 10 years. And one of my early friends at Heritage Eats was a gentleman by the name of Charlie Monahan. He passed away a few years ago. But he was sort of like a giant within the Napa Valley College community and the broader Napa community. And he and I had a really good relationship. He mentored me quite a bit, and we got some of our first employees through his programs at the college. And one of our kind of mutual friends, Claudette Shadow, she's a professor at the college, and she and I were speaking a few months back about Georgian Kins, and she had talked to me about, she'd been trying to raise money to create a scholarship in Charlie's name. And it's a $25,000 fundraising goal, of which she had raised about $7,000 of. And she needed an extra $18,000 in fundraising to turn this scholarship into a scholarship in perpetuity, right? So one student selected per year, they have to apply, and they're given some small grant to help with college tuition or expenses, living expenses, and so on, right? And my Auntie Kitty and my Uncle George are very generous people. They helped to fund and pay for the local community garden at their church in Pocatello. And the idea came to my mind. I said, well, interesting. So, okay, $18,000. If we can get 100 people, let's just say, to donate $180, or we can get 180 people to donate $100, right? Then we've done it, right? And it sounded manageable or reasonable in my mind, and we kind of break it down that way. And I said, well, we've got this new restaurant that's opening called George and Kins, and maybe we can help kind of fundraise in a different way, right? And there could be a marketing element as well for our opening. So what we're doing is we are trying to reach out to the community. So Nilu, you would have the ability to buy a $100 gift card that would give you $100 to spend at our new restaurant, George and Kins, right? Just as if you were to walk in and buy a gift card at any other place, right? What we're doing is we're collecting that $100, and we're going to donate all $100 to the school to contribute towards the fundraising goal to fund the scholarship, right? And if we're able to do that, Claudette and Charlie's family said that they would want us to have our George and Kins name as a part of the scholarship. So our goal is to raise $18,000 for the scholarship through the sale of gift cards to George and Kins. And if successful, there will forever be at the college a George and Kins and Charlie Monahan career education scholarship that will reward one lucky student with some amount of money to be used for tuition reimbursement or living expenses and the like. So, just a way again for us to pay respect to my Auntie Kinney, my Uncle George, and we'd be really proud and grateful if we were able to get this done. And you, the community, would you have the benefit of being able to come into the restaurant and use that gift card just as if you bought it anywhere else. So
it's kind of a win-win. You would be marketing anyway. And so doing it in this aspect, and we all know how expensive marketing is. I have my own business, I know. But you're really doing something that's going to last forever, last, God knows when. And what a beautiful tribute to George and Kinney. That's excellent. I love that. So everybody listening, go and get your gift certificates and go and eat. Right? Come to your restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be opening in early April. The date will be publicly announced shortly.
Yeah.
Go to our website, georgeandkins.com. There's a link where you can click. There's a scholarship link that has information about the scholarship, and then from there's a link to purchase a gift card of any denomination that you'd like. You'll receive the gift card, and it's as good as cash when you come in when we open up. And we're collecting that money and donating it to the college to fund the scholarship.
Absolutely. Wonderful. And so I love that. I mean, excited about this new venture for you. I think it's going to be awesome. I think we need to pull more, tourists into Napa, obviously. And if we're doing something different, sometimes it helps, right? And so we're doing something different. The diner concept, to me, is awesome to have in Napa. One of the goofy questions I ask all my guests is about songs. And I want to ask you, if you had to kind of think of one song that would describe your new restaurant, George and Kins, and then also one song for Heritage Eats, because they're different, right? They're kind of different. What song? And is it too difficult? I don't know. Give me one song.
No. When you were asking the question, the song that came to my mind, I didn't know what you were going to ask, was "Hard Day's Night," and I'm working like a dog.
That's what it seems like.
But that would be more descriptive, I guess, of me than it would be of. It's actually funny enough. It's my dad's. When I call my dad, it's the ringtone. It's the song that plays when I call my dad.
Well, he's got that on his phone.
Correct. Yeah. So when I call him, he knows it's me. Yeah, because it's a hard day's night. He's working like a dog. So that I don't know. It's hard for me to think about a song for George and Kins. But maybe is that sufficient of an answer?
Yes. Yeah, no, I think right now we're going to use that one song for everything.
Yeah.
And we are going to hope that the next song is going to be Dreams, or, that we're happy, and something that the song in the next 6 months. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's what you're going to be doing.
Thank you.
I love talking to you. I really appreciate it. I did pull you out of your car. I know you're on your way to an event, so I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get the word out. I personally, I'm always looking for cool spots like that. I and something different. So again, thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it. And for our listeners, this is Beyond the Pour by California Tastings. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching and listening. This is Beyond the Pour by California Tastings. Here for all your somm needs in California. To listen to other episodes, you can find us on YouTube and all the platforms where podcasts are played. Be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know what you enjoyed about the episode. We can't wait to hear from you soon. Cheers.